You put like this stuff here behind, right? And then you just put it in here, and you can just like kind of like, can you see it? They can kind of like roll it like this. And that means you have like this O, the part of the O at the top. I think this looks really nice. Hey everyone, this is Thecos, and some of you may have already seen my unboxing of Orléans, of the nice anniversary box that was just delivered, just very, very new. And today I thought, like, you know what, I'm going to show you how to rebox everything and also give you my first impressions of the box, what I think of it so far. Yes, there are images in the box cover and also in the rules of how to set everything, put everything in the box, but still, for some people it might be easy to see it on video. And also, there are a few things I want to say about it. All right, so let's grab a tea and get going. There we go. Now we can begin. So first, of course, you open the box. Let me just do that. It's a very large box and a heavy one, so it's always difficult to open that. So just as a reminder, you do have an image here where you put everything, right? So that definitely helps, but still I think it makes sense to also let you know via video. All right, so we have two main layers. The first layer, we have these three component trays, and we have the one with the citizens here. Let me just get it out. There we go. We have the one with the citizens here. You just sort them by color in here, right? Then on the top right, we have the coins. Yeah, so these are a little bit loose, right? So that is the way it is, but here you have the coins. You can sort them by a denomination, like 1, 5, then 10 and 20, or you can just switch them around. I might switch these two around, right? And then here in the bottom right, you have all the goods. I would say something about that as well. For now, I have sorted them by type. I might switch that up at some point. I will get to that a little bit later when I talk about my first impressions. Then here on the left, you have at the top you have the rulebook, right? And then here you have like all of the different player boards and the expansion boards, and also like the game board here, right? Everything is just here in a thick stack. And then you have the bottom layer, and this is where where things get interesting. So let me just open this up. I don't know, it doesn't want to. There we go. All right, so on the left, you have like all the bags for the players. There is like a way to actually put them in here nicely. So if you just have the bag like this, you put like this stuff here behind, right? And then you just put it in here, and you can just like kind of like, can you see it? They can kind of like roll it like this. And that means you have like this O, the part of the O at the top. I think this looks really nice. I haven't done it like right here with this one, and also I could have done it nicer here, but it looks like really nice in the box then, right? If you just stuff it in like this, it doesn't look nice. This way, I mean, it just takes like 1 or 2 seconds more, right? And that's time we as board gamers have, right? So let's take a look at the bag. In these bags, there are things. They're like all the player things that they need. There are like the starting citizens here, right? Oops, that was not good. All 4 of them. Black, white, blue, and brown. Also, there is like the player meeple here, right? Then there are all the cubes in the player color, and then there are also like these houses that I don't know. They might be for one of the expansions, but also these in the player colors, right? That's all that's in the bag. So you take everything out of the bag when you start playing the game. You put these back in, of course, right? Because these are the ones you pull out of the bag, and the rest you leave out of the bag, right? But it's just nice that they're all in here. I always like it when you can actually hand players just like some kind of like box or bag and say, here is your stuff, right? That's your color? Okay, cool. There is your stuff. So let me do it again like this, and then you can kind of like roll it up like this here, right? See? And this looks like really nice. I would do this for all the other bags as well. I haven't done it like nicely yet, but I will still do so. All right, then here you have all of the different tiles. These small tiles here, right? These are like I think hourglass tiles they're called. So at the bottom you have these are like the light brown tiles. These are for the base game. Then you have the blue ones for the invasion expansion, right? Then you have the like dark brown beige tiles for the traders expansion. I don't quite know how it's called in English, something with trading and intrigue. And then at the very bottom you have the green tiles for the pest expansion, right? Then here at the top you have all of the location tiles. These are the location tiles 1 that have a 1 at the back, and here are all the location tiles with a 2 at the back. And then here, these 3 location tiles in this small compartment, these are all like 2 1s and 1 2, and these are for the pest expansion, right? I didn't see any notation here or any image that tells you these are for the pest expansion, but you can actually find this in the rules, right? If you go to the rule book and you go to the pest expansion, then there they tell you how these are called. And you exchange 3 of the base game with these 3 from the pest expansion then. Here in the top right, you have the first player marker that is like tight in here. You have to like pull it out like, pull it out like, come on, this to get it out. Like really nice first player marker. It's kind of hard to get out, but it is possible. At least it doesn't fall over then. And then here we have the cards. So here on the very left we have like all the cards for the pest expansion. Then here we have all the building cards. Let me just show you how these look like, right? So these are the pest cards, and these are the other cards for also the pest expansion, I think, with A, B, and C, right? These go in the compartment on the very left. Then in the next compartment here, it's kind of hard to get them out. In the next compartment, these are the building cards, right? I don't know how they're called in English, but they are the ones with this back here, because I have the German version here and I haven't looked at the English rules yet. Then here we have the 9 character cards, right? They look like this here. These must be for some expansion as well, because I don't know them yet. I've only played the base game yet. And these are like the I don't know how you would call them. The task cards. Well, maybe they're actually called contract cards or something. I'm not quite sure. But those are here on the top right. In the right, I mean. And then, oops, wait. There we go. And then here on the right, we have only the overview cards, right? For each player, with all the phases, with everything that grants victory points at the end. And also like how many citizens you have in the box here, like when you play. So then here we have just the notepad, right? Double-sided, luckily. Here at the top, you have the different, like the other citizens, right? The ones that grant you points. Here you have the carpenter, the white one, and also like the white tokens here. Then here you have the die. You see, like perfect, just fits perfectly in here. Here you have all of the corpses for the pest expansion and also the pest doctors, right? And then here you have like the large tiles, the large tableaus, right? So this here is the infirmary, like all 5 for the players, the infirmary. Then here you have this tile here. I'm not quite sure how it's called. It's like some civil building. Then here these 4 are for the carpenter as well, for each player, right? Then here, here you have a different building. I also don't know how this is called. It's like some community hall, I suppose, right? Maybe called community hall, I'm not quite sure. This is where you put this. And then down here, you have the support tableaus right here, right? Also for all 5 players. And then 2 more things I want to show you. Here are like these half round tiles. I don't quite know how they're called in English, right? These are like just for putting over other stuff. And the last thing I want to show you is that everything fits in here well. There are loads of baggies, like 20 baggies or something in here. And what I've done is the following. There are 2 things that I've done. First of all, the game is pretty much flush with the box cover. Almost. There's just a little bit of room, and I don't like wiggle room in my games. So what I've done, there are, I think, six different 6 different punch boards, and if you put 2 of them, of those 6 in here, then the game box is pretty much exactly flush. You could maybe also put a third one in there, but then it might have a little box lift. So that's why I put 2 in here. And also, I put all these smaller baggies in this large baggie. These are all from the game Orléans. Look at how many, there's just so many. And I can't show it to you now, but at the bottom of the lower tray, you might see it because it's a little bit higher here, right? It's a little bit higher here, but there is actually like pretty big room here, just right underneath that part. So what I do is I just take the bag and I put them right here in that compartment, and then I can put the this back in, and nothing wiggles, everything is firm, and I still have the baggies in here. Just because I don't want to put them in my large baggie box. Maybe I will say at some point, okay, I might need some baggies here. I don't know, I might. So this is why I've put them in there for now. I will show you in a moment how to put everything back together. But before I do, let me give you just a few first impressions. Like a few first impressions of the box. So I just love the attention to detail. I like all the embossing, like the quality of the components is great. The insert is good as well, right? So I like everything very much. Like the quality, like the overall general quality is like really good here. I have heard some complaints with like that the coloring or the cutting is off on some tiles, and I agree. See here? You might see it on camera. This one is darker than this one here, right? So there might be some colorings might be off here a little bit, but it doesn't really disturb me too much. It doesn't really annoy me, so I'm not gonna ask for a refund like for new tiles. I think that's fine. That's just a first world problem. But apart from that, like everything here is like the die is nice, all the meeples are nice, the cards have they have a decent quality, that's fine. The bags are amazing, so the tiles are very good. So everything has like a really good quality. There are a few things I don't quite understand. One of them is that here and also here, there's just so much room. And I don't know what for. Yes, you could maybe use that room here to sleeve the cards. Maybe that's why. But then you couldn't put them in here anymore like it's supposed to be. So I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure what that extra spot is supposed to do here, right? Also here. Here's the first player marker and here's room. So much room in here, right? I don't know what that is for. There's nothing in the game, like nothing in the box that needs to go there. Right, so they could have probably, in my opinion, done the box a little bit more space efficient, I suppose. They probably could have done that, right? I mean, there's quite a lot of room here. They probably could have done it a little bit slimmer. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, it's not perfectly efficient. Like also, like here, same thing, right? It's all a little bit too tight. Sometimes some things are a little bit too tight. Some are perfect. Some are a little bit, there's just too much room. I don't quite get that. It's not a deal breaker. It's still a great box, right? But it's something I didn't quite understand. But regarding gameplay, there's one more thing that I found a little bit difficult, and that's with the goods here. In order to set up the game, you take all the goods, you shuffle them up face down, and put them on the map, and then you sort them back into their piles, their respective, and put them back in here. And I find that like really cumbersome. So you have them all in here, sorted by type. You take them all out now. You shuffle them together, put them on the map, and then you have to like sort them back into these trays again. I don't quite see the benefit here, right? I think like having a large tray with like all of them in here would have been better, in my opinion, right? That's something that I don't quite understand regarding gameplay, because that an insert is supposed to make setup quicker, and it will make setup quicker, of course, right? Because the insert is generally very good, but these goods here, I don't think that was the best decision to do it like this. That's one thing, and the last thing, that's just a very, very minor one. But the last thing is with these guys here, right? I always call them citizens. I don't know how they're really called in English, but these guys here, right, that you pull out of your bag. It's good that they are divided here, and that's all fine. And the only issue I have is that if they're like on the table at some point and you're sitting on the other end, because of that, because it's all black here, you might not see how many are left in there. And you need to see how many are left in there, because otherwise you won't do an action to get one of those, right? So that could also prove a little bit difficult if you're playing with like more than 2 people or something, right? Or more than 3 people even. So that could be a little bit difficult. It's just a nitpick, but still it's something to keep in mind. And to put everything back together, first you take the large plastic sheet here again. I almost always forget that when I'm putting the box back together. You put that here on top. Make sure that it's like tight and snug here. Then we take the coins, put them here in the top right. Then we take the goods, put them here, and these guys over here. Then you take the boards. So I suggest to putting like the thick boards at the bottom and the thinner ones for the players and expansions at the top. You just lean that against the left here, and then you can let it drop down. It's easier to do it like this. If you do it the other way, to actually first put that one and then these, I found that a little bit difficult because these are like very, very tight, right? And they might not actually really go well together. So yeah, it's not perfect. It's a little bit too tight, but that's the way it is. And then here you just put the rules at top. And when you, if you look now, if you do it like I did with the punch boards, this is like pretty much perfectly flush. You could maybe put one more punch board in there. I'm not sure. Maybe. But that's pretty much it. And then you just close up the box again, which always takes a little while because it's a very large box. But there we go. And that is how you rebox the anniversary box, also with like a few first impressions from my side. I hope you enjoyed this video. Just a quick and short video to show all of that to you. Well, actually, it's longer than I thought it would be. All right, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. As usual, I want to thank all of you for your support. Especially, I want to give a shout out to my generous patrons. And the biggest thanks go out to Thecos, who is supporting me at the highest tier. Thank you so much for that. You can support me in numerous ways, which all help me grow my channel even more and bring you more cool content in the future. And that is by watching, liking, and commenting on my videos, even subscribing to my channel, maybe supporting me on Patreon, and joining my Discord server to hang out with me and my amazing community. All right, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the very next video. Take care, everyone. Stay safe, and cheers.